Are you looking to grow revenues, increase profitability, or obtain financing? If so, you came to the right place.
Running a business is all about leadership. How do you become a better leader? Learn from the successful entrepreneurs and business owners how to lead your organization more effectively. That's why we created Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business, to help you succeed with your host, Andrew Frazier, Business Growth Pro and CFO and founder of the Small Business Pro University. Every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're joined by experienced entrepreneurs and business owners who share their secrets to success via live stream. Also, every Friday morning, we release a new podcast episode. Either way, you will learn about developing your business leadership skills from our roster of highly performing guest experts. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbprou.com.
Good evening and welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. I'm your host, Andrew Frazier, and excited to be back here once again, talking small business. Each week I'm joined by an excellent guest who shares their expertise at different areas of business and entrepreneurship. As you know, the key to your success as a business owner is the ability to lead your business successfully. So how can you become a better leader without learning from other leaders? So that's what we do here each week, is bringing you leaders in different areas of business so that you can learn from them and learn how to be a better leader yourself. Take some of their skills, some of the things they've learned, and put them to work immediately within your business to help you be more successful. This week, I'm really excited because we have a special guest, Diedre Helberg. And we're going to be talking about how to become a leader of leaders. First, you have to be able to lead your organization successfully. But then it takes an even special leader to be able to not just lead your organization, but lead organizations of leaders, leaders of other organizations, to be able to lead, influence them, and help them to achieve a common goal. That's a win-win situation for everyone. So that's something that Deidre's been doing for many years in many forums and many platforms. So, she has a unique perspective on this. So I'm excited that she's able to join us this evening. So once again, my special guest, Diedre Helberg, CEO of Helberg Electrical Supply Corp. out of New York, Brooklyn, New York. And but also she's founder of the U.S. Coalition of Black Women Businesses, and has worked with a lot of other organizations. So I'm excited to be here. Let me bring Diedre on real quick. Hey, Diedre, how are you doing this evening? Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thanks for joining us. I know it's been a long day, and it's actually been a warm day, which is kind of nice also. So, at least for us in the Northeast, it's been cold for a while. But yeah, so thanks for taking time out of your schedule to join us. We've been talking for a while, and seeing some of the great things that you're doing with your organization as well as with your company. And I'm glad that we're able to have you as a guest here tonight to share a little bit. So we've talked. I know you decently well, but a lot of people here tuning in may not. So can you just take a few minutes, talk a little bit about your journey? Tell us, where you came from, how you ended up where you are, and some of the key things that you encountered along the route.
Okay, so I was born in Bronx, raised in Brooklyn, by the way, Hempstead, New York, to Freeport, New York. I grew up with entrepreneurs in my family, and it's been a journey. So I've been doing this business here for 20 years, but I've been self-employed for 28 years. And I'm really excited at where we are right now. So founded Helberg Electrical Supply in 2003. And I came into an industry that I was very excited about, but wasn't excited for me. So I learned very quickly, you know, you get prepared, you have your business plan, you have everything together, and then all of a sudden you find out no one wants to sell to you. So that was a curve that was totally unexpected, but I didn't give up and continue to move forward. And now we're first tier with our manufacturers, and we're in the power industry. You know, and we basically deal with utilities and transportation and substation work, and also offshore and other different industries and sectors as well. And in 2019, it was actually 2020, Grassroots started a non-for-profit organization that operates like a chambers, the U.S. Coalition of Black Women Businesses. And the vision for that is the Power She, which is social health, economic equity. And so many things were going on that Black women had to face in reference to their businesses. And then COVID took place. And so that changed everyone's world for a while. And then, you know, we lost some members, and we just continue to move forward. And we have coalition sisters, which are non-for-profits that are 501c3. And so we move together. This is about empowerment, women doing business with other, and celebrating one another and acknowledging that they are valued and that they are businesses. And the thing that's going on is Black women across the nation and even overseas are not interested about being marketed. We have the talent, we have the skill set, and we need to move forward.
Excellent, excellent. So not only are you helping yourself be successful, but you've really reached out and created an organization to really bring people along and help them gain the skills and access they need to be more successful as well. So excellent. And you did that through the US?
Yes, it's about the.
Okay, okay, excellent. So we've got you here this evening and got a lot of questions and a lot of things I want to chat with you about. But before we do that, we do this through the Small Business Pro University, and so just want to play a quick 1-minute video about what the Small Business Pro University is all about, and then we'll be back talking small business with Diedre Helberg. Looking forward to it.
Do you own your business or does it own you? Is your business growing and are you making enough money? As a business owner, there are so many things you need to know to become more successful. Hello, my name is Andrew Frazier, the Business Growth Pro and CFO. I created the Small Business Pro University for you. Small Business Pro University has self-paced, dynamic, multimedia learning experiences created by more than 20 instructors who are business owners just like you. Small Business Pro University will empower you to become a masterpreneur by learning the secrets to creating a successful enterprise, to go from working in your business to working on your business. Take advantage of our strategic coaching program, or just simply choose the courses that you need at www.sbprou.com. We will empower you to thrive and not just survive and make more money in any.
Okay, great. So hopefully you got that. I don't know, I may have had a little technical difficulties here, but we're back. So Diedre, we do have a question from the audience. Someone obviously probably knows you. So, so,
Oh boy.
So this is an interesting question. Talk briefly about how you built relationships to overturn manufacturers unwilling to sell you products. Well,
Listen, it wasn't easy. I had to actually, and still do, continue to prove. to prove myself. It wasn't easy. I just kept knocking on the doors. No means new opportunities. We can do the work. Let's do it. It's a family business. We can do this. And we went through some challenges because you're dealing with manufacturers, and some of them have been around for over 100 years. They have a culture. I'm in let's face it, a non-traditional, or what they would say, woman's industry. And then I'm a Black woman on top of that. And so you're dealing with a predominantly white male industry. And so the attitude was, is this a joke? And they found out, no, it's not. And I'm okay with being a disruptor. I'm okay with continue to move forward. And we're not looking for a handout. We're looking to work. If you're self-employed, there's a reason for that. You're able to have the skill set to be an employer. That's what you want to do. You want to build your community. Of course, you want to make money. And so I just kept moving forward. What they didn't know was that I came from a family, and I'll say it again, of entrepreneurs. I grew up. I was when I was younger to seeing Black excellence and hearing and privileged to see entrepreneurs and hear their thoughts and their concerns and their values reference to the and a lot of them had their full-time job was their business, and some had it as a side hustle, and some of them did both. But we are workers, and it wasn't easy. That's what I can say. I had to prove myself, not only to the manufacturers, but I also had to prove myself to my customers as well. And
Okay.
I hope I answered it.
No, definitely. It's never easy, and you really broke ground for a lot of people on a lot of things. So definitely, and another friend of yours has just wanted to say hi. Vera Moore says,
God is there. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
oh my goodness. And she's a trailblazer. I remember when I first met her through Black Women Enterprise. Oh my God, we go back so many years. And I have to say, she's a trailblazer against all odds, and just encouraging and loving and always wanting to help, and listen. So throughout, let's see, my son is 31. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. But she's still breaking down barriers. So I love you, Vera. Love you. Yes.
Excellent. So, definitely over time you meet and connect with a lot of great people.
Yes.
And one thing I found, you probably see even closer, is the circle of successful business owners gets smaller and smaller, and you probably see more and more people. If you don't know somebody that you're doing business with, they know you, they know of you, they know you know them, or you know of them. Especially on the business side. So you build relationships, and people really know who you are and what you're about without even asking you or needing to. So excellent.
Right.
So thanks. Okay. Hey, thanks, Marcella. Yeah. Hey, Marcella, welcome. Glad you joined us this evening as well.
Hello.
So what to talk about, and Marcella's done some great things working with chambers and other organizations and sharing leadership in those areas. So you talked about the U.S. Coalition of Black Women Business.
Black woman business.
And that was really your passion and something that you felt really excited about and being able to really make a difference there. It's not like you didn't have enough to do running this. How did you do that? And did you pull together people? You had the idea. How did you turn it from an idea into a reality? What was the keys to being able to do that?
Well, actually, I'm a woman of faith. You know that I love God, and this thing, because I've been involved in a lot of organizations and chambers and things like that. Something was changing, and basically, what was going on since things were changing in the United States politically, and it was just like Black women were getting left out. And it was a concern. And it was really a concern, like we didn't exist. We was always the one in the room. Through my business travels, being in the industry that I'm in, I'm always looking for that sister. Well, where is she? Because I know she's in there somewhere. Okay. And just being left out. And then certain things were happening in reference to health. So many Black women were dying during childbirth. And so there was just a lot going on. And it was time for us to start having conversation with one another, empowering one another, and champion one another. And I mean, sincerely champion one another, because her success is my success. Her failure is my failure. And we're so used to working and doing so much that we don't get a chance to really understand our true value in all that we do. And so that needed to be celebrated, and certain things needed to be addressed, that we needed a space that we can talk and get things done. And also, like I said, champion each other, with the good, bad, and I don't like the word ugly, indifferent. and challenge things that are not right, to have a voice for our community. And for the next 8 generations, we're human, we're talented, we're gifted, and to be respected in that manner.
Okay. And at the end of the day, that's really what entrepreneurship's all about. You saw a problem, you figured out a solution, and you implemented a solution.
Right.
And and that's what leadership's all about. That's why to be a successful business owner, you need to be successful. You need to lead it successfully. So with the organization, now it's national in scope, and you've got a lot of different Black women business owners involved in the organization. What were some of your biggest challenges getting up and running?
COVID. But and it was funny, because we were going to do a launch in April 30th, 2020. Mm-hmm. And everybody was going to come from the different regions and just do the major launch here in New York at Hofstra University. Had everything planned. And we were basically going to be more or less like an online. That's how it started off, to be online, but we weren't really prepared for all of that yet. And then we weren't prepared for the loss in all that we went through. And then even for myself, things got pushed back. I'm blessed to be alive, because I had an ischemic stroke January 31st, 2020. Mm-hmm. And, when someone tells you, well, the TBA tells you, well, if you don't take the medicine, you can bleed and might die. And if you do, you can still bleed and die. So that's, I am blessed to be alive. And so there's a purpose with that. And I'm moving forward with it because it's not just about me. It's for all of us. It's for all of us, you know, all of us. We've been through a lot.
Okay. Excellent. So, okay. And, so with the coalition and things, I don't know if you're a golfer. I'm like, I'll golf sometimes, but I can't say I'm good enough to say I'm a golfer. But one thing that happens when you go golfing is, sometimes you have a terrible day, but you always at least hit like one shot. That was like great. So, whenever you have your business or organization or whatever, there's you're digging in the mud a lot, but then there's this one thing or a couple things that make it all worthwhile.
Yes.
What were some examples of some things that you experienced, with the chamber that or the coalition that you're like, man, this is really why we did it, and I'm really glad we did that.
People getting opportunities, people feeling good about themselves, and knowing that when you get a call or you get an email and go, oh my God, this was a surprise. You spotlight me on Small Business Saturday, and they're not even expecting that. And it's just like, my spiritual mom, God rest her soul, she used to say, you never know who's praying for you. And it's just like, you never know who's watching out for you or watching you. And through social media, I will send something to somebody and go, I like your platform. Mm-hmm. And that's all it takes. It's just letting them know, we see you, we see you. And that there is very exciting and very rewarding to me, to just know that they are appreciative and that we can be a resource for them.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, definitely that's key. Even for your business. I know you've had a lot of challenges, but you've had a lot of successes as well.
Yes.
What would you say were a couple of your top successes, and what would you say led to that?
When you are in an industry that people don't take you seriously, and you get that account or you get that order, and then you get another account and you get another order. Okay. And then the challenges that you may go through, there were times I was told, okay, well, we have a price for you. And it's just like, well, what's that? What does that mean? What do you mean a price for me? What does that mean? I get a different price. I don't have the same multiplier as everybody else. And then, just learning the technique of, getting into the government sector and the bids and paying attention and, well, why am I so much higher than everybody else? And then find out you weren't getting the same pricing as everybody else. So, and then to hear the different things that they would say, oh, they don't have the capacity, or they don't have, it's always that, but turning that negativity into a win, mm-hmm. And that was a good thing. And then constantly just growing and scaling up slowly, but doing what we had to do, So, we had some obstacles, still dealing with some stuff, but that's part of business. We all know about the curve, so that's part of it, So,
and you're still here.
Exactly.
Which a lot of people can't say that.
Look at all the big businesses that we're losing day to day. I think anybody who is in business and survived through what we've gone through and what we're still going through have to be recognized. Look, you're still here. You're doing it. And that's a great thing because people are shutting down every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So no, definitely that's key. So
right.
So with your with what you're doing with your business, we've been talking a little bit about what's coming up in the future and what are the big opportunities, and one of them is wind. And
Yes.
that's an area that you're looking into.
Right.
And actually we had a meeting, and I've I had assumed that my business, I'm in business, small business coaching, consulting. What do I have to do with wind? But surprisingly, there's a lot more opportunity for different businesses than people would think, even given what's going on in the wind sector.
Right.
Could you just talk a little bit about what's happening there, and maybe what people should know about it, and
one of the things they should know about it is don't discount yourself out of it. I mean, it is not a new industry. It is a industry that's been around. It's just new to us because we're behind in sustainability in so many different areas. But there is so much opportunity for everyone. It's like, how can I explain it? You've got offshore wind, and of course, there's a little controversy about the whales, but there's no real proof on that. But they need everything. Think of a new infrastructure and how this is going to create not only high-level jobs and all the way through entrepreneurship. They need everything and everybody in order to get this going. So don't discount yourself. Don't think you're not needed. You're not needed. And then you can also partner up with other folks as well to get prepared. I would like our community to learn more about it. I mean, they can just Google, they can go on, come to our site, and I'll give that information to you about the National Supply Institute. But they can actually learn and, contact the U.S. Coalition of Black Women Businesses. Send me an email, and we can give you information. We can direct you and help you and sign up so you can understand more. Our youth don't know too much about it. The teachers don't know too much about it. So we definitely have to educate our community. It's important.
Okay. So yeah, definitely. So we've got Deidre's website in the chat. We've got Deidre's LinkedIn in the chat. We've got Deidre's organizations, USCBWB, in the chat, and then also your organization is going to be having an event in Newark, New Jersey this month.
Yes.
So tell us about what that.
Put somebody on the spot, but I'll call her later. Yes. So that day, we're going to be talking about offshore wind in Newark, New Jersey, giving out some information. And we're going to be talking about the cannabis industry, and we're going to be talking about infrastructure as well. So come out, get to know the organization, become a member. We'll be there to answer questions, to talk to you, give you information. And I'm just looking forward to people coming out, because that face-to-face and that networking is intimate, but it's going to be really great. A great time and good food, from what I hear. Very good food.
You had me at food. It's even going to be good. That's even better.
I have folks in my tribe. I got folks in my tribe that go to Newark, and they're always stopping there. So listen, it's going to be my first time experiencing it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so we've got the event in the chat. So if you want to register, you got the details there as well for anyone online here. So excellent. So Lorraine had a question for you. So let me pull it up. It's a little long. So what is the percentage of your clientele that are minorities? And if there's any issues, well, let's first, you probably don't have that many clientele that are minorities, I guess, given your electrical supply, but that could be. And then the other piece we can talk a little bit more about, in terms of customer service.
Well, okay. So to explain to you what I do, I am not a day-to-day supplier. I basically work with substation work, grid. So the, the best way for me to explain to people who don't understand what I do, when you look up at the utility lines and you see all the things in the tubs and the transformers, that's what I sell, medium high voltage. I, generators, power distribution. So it's B2B. So my clientele is B2B. So no, it's not minority. Now my vendors, some of my vendors, if I need certain things, yes, I make sure I do my darnest to make sure I come black first.
Okay.
So it's really the other way around for me in my industry.
Okay. Yeah, and every industry is different, but one of the key things is just at the end of the day when you're in business,
Right.
it's all about delivering customer service that the customer experience customers are looking for, and that's whatever business you're in, wherever you are, and whatever types of businesses there are. As a business owner, you're never 100% perfect all the time.
No.
And that's part of life, but the key is how well you recover.
Exactly.
And that, you had the right intentions.
Right.
And I think, I've worked with people who have, but as long as I've found as long as I communicate and work with people and they understand where things are, that's the most important thing to get making it successful. I know some, so definitely, it's always a topic that comes up, but I don't want to spend too much time on things that happen sometimes. But I think at the end of the day, your business, you've been doing a lot of great things for a lot of businesses, and with what you're doing now also, you've been doing business in New York, New Jersey. You also do some international business though, right?
Right.
What other countries do you do business with, and how are
No, I haven't done anything overseas yet. I've been asked, but I haven't ventured out that way yet. I mean, like I said, so much has been going on, and in the last 3 years, we have a major problem with the supply chain. And the supply chain means anything whereas product and materials can be delayed to the fact of the loss of life in COVID is also part of the supply chain. A lot of talent is gone. Just the new working, and just the new atmosphere of post-COVID or whatever where we are today. It's all different than what was going on in 2018 and 2019. It's a different world. So, just being able to pivot and taking risk. And I think anyone who is an entrepreneur are risk takers. And so, okay, this doesn't work, I'm going to make this work. But whatever you do, just stay to that skill set and just stay in the lane. Every contract is not a great contract or good contract. You got to be mindful of what you do, how you move, and take your time. It's okay to say no. It's definitely okay to say no, because you don't want to get on. You don't want to do anything and you can't perform, because there's two different rule sets. Two different rule sets based on our complexion, and that's just a reality, So other people could do far much worse, and okay, they'll be all right. And you do something far less that might be a little error or there's a delay, and they just blow it out of proportion because you're designated as a what's the new word now? Diverse. Yeah, we got to do instead of MWBE. And that's where that's at. Yeah, so you gotta be mindful.
Right. No, definitely. Like Dad used to always say that, life's not fair, but you do
Right.
what you can to make it fairer for you. So
Exactly.
if you need to, because at the end of the day, there are ways to make it. You may not
Right.
make it the same way everybody else does, but definitely, you're able to pivot and been able to do stuff. So now, go ahead.
One of the things that I've always liked to say to people, when you're self-employed, you're responsible for someone else's household. We have the same overhead as anybody else, and we're business owners, and so we have to pay the same insurances, the same taxes, the same everything. We go through the same thing, and so some people have to look at us as business owners, and sometimes they don't. I mean, I was asked a question at the IPF 2023, and it was like a wake-up call. It was like, what? You're really going through the same thing we're going through. Yeah, we're all human. And if you're in business, we all have to pay those taxes, insurances, and, all that goes on into dealing with a business. Yeah. So,
No, and sometimes it just takes interaction.
communicating with one another, and
and
we're all in this together, no matter what anybody say at the end of the day.
Right.
We're all human. God created us. We're all in this together. So that's it.
Cool. So we've covered quite a few different things.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go into a few things on leadership a little bit more, but especially on leading other people who lead organizations or who are leaders within their organizations, because that's even a little bit of a different leadership skill than just leading people within your organization. Before we do that, I'm going to take a quick break and share a little bit about one of the things we do as a organization. And we do the Power Breakfast and Conference for entrepreneurs and business owners.
Okay.
It's a way to bring people together. So here's like a 1-minute video on sort of what that is. Come check out our next one this summer. And then I'll be back talking small business with Deidre Helberg. See you in a sec.
If you are looking to increase revenues, improve profitability, and or obtain financing for your business, you need to check out the Power Breakfast and Small Business Pro conferences.
My name is Andrew Frazier. One of the things we're here to do is supercharge your day.
Today's Power Breakfast has really been a phenomenal experience. I think it's exactly what business owners need, some true guidance of people who are genuine and really are leading them in the true direction of business growth and expansion.
The Power Breakfast is so important for the entrepreneurial community because it gives the various business people who come together an opportunity to interact and also do some business.
These events, hosted by Andrew Frazier, President and COO of Small Business Like a Pro, will supercharge your day.
Okay, welcome back to Leadership Live. I'm here with Deidre Helberg, and we're talking about leadership and really being a leader of leaders. And, Deidre, you work with a lot of B2B and contracting, and, a lot of that is coordinated efforts between a number of organizations to put together a project or achieve a goal. And so generally you're working with people from different organizations. When you're working with people externally, and especially in coordinating contracts and other stuff, are there certain skills or certain key things that you have to take into account when you're doing that?
Now you're saying from underneath the U.S. Coalition of Black Women Businesses or Helberg Electrical Supply?
Helberg Electrical as your business.
So I wouldn't use the word organizations.
Okay.
On that one, as running HES Helberg.
Okay.
It depends. If you're depends on we do a lot of government. We started off in Fortune 500, and
Okay.
then we end up getting into government because of certifications, and you know, we we kind of changed our model. Um, so there is a lot of bidding that's 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 involved,
Okay.
and my advice to anybody when you're doing government contracting, know who your client is. Know they're good, they're bad, and their indifferences, and know whether you can handle it or not. You know, and because they may have requirements that you may not be prepared for. So, you may want to start off with a smaller, scale up to larger. It all depends on what it is, but you need to know that customer, the customer's behavior, how you're going to help them because they're your customer. So that's your job, that's your responsibility. But then also you need to be able to take care of your vendors at the same time. So do whatever you have to do, but read the contracts, negotiate. If it's something you cannot do, be transparent and say, I can't do this. I'm not prepared for this right now. Can I do this or what have you? And you'll be surprised. If that the opportunity is not good, then you go for something else. But mostly it's taking the time to read and learn from others. Contact other vendors of theirs and ask questions. Pay attention to who gets awarded and why, and pay attention to your competitors. You can learn a thing or two from them. They can learn something from you too. So it's the truth. It's those things. But yeah, it's really paying attention to who your customer is, and don't think you can do everything for everybody, because you can't. You'll be in business today and be out tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And so definitely, learning from others. A lot of it's, I guess, research and learning. So you have to continually learn. I don't know if you know Bob Brown. He used to be here in Jersey at PTAC, Procurement Technical Center, but he would help a lot of people get government contracting certified. Right. His three things were like read, and read.
Exactly.
So
there's so many free resources, and then there's resources that the free can't give you. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I tell people that all the time. I remember when I first started, I went to SBDC and I got my little business plan and what have you. And then my first accountant, he just smiled. He's like, "What's that?" He said, "What's this?" I said, "This is a business plan." He said, "Oh, really?" Business plan. And it was so funny. I had another group that were trying to steal my business plan. I said, "No, you can't take my business plan." But these are some of the things that you learn. and you continue to grow on that, and as we know, technology is changing every day. Things are changing every day, and finding the right resources for you and having the right back office for you. If you don't think your CPA is not important, that's really important. Having the attorneys, that's very important. Having the insurance to write this, that's important. So that back office is really key. Mm-hmm. Really. And then sometimes you find that you will have to switch around until you get the right folks, and that's okay, because we're all learning, and that's how it works.
Yep. And then you mentioned the competitors, paying attention to them. So now, how well do you know your competitors?
Oh, I just watch them. They know I'm watching them. They watch me too. Let's be real about it. I mean, the biggest compliment, you want to be like them in some respects, and you don't want to be like them in some respects, and it's the same thing. But what works and what doesn't work. What are they doing correctly? What they're not doing correctly. And it's like this. My granddaddy used to say, if you fulfill a need, you will stay in business. And that's just the bottom line. And that's what it is. We all are in sales. You got to fulfill that need in order to stay in business.
Okay. Excellent. So now, you talked about developing your team and building your team. And sometimes that can be scary for business owners. One, because you got to bring on people that, you're hiring them to do something that you don't really know what it is they do. Right. So how do you deal with that? And how have you?
It's a trust. It's a trust, and especially for us in our community, it's a trust issue because, but you got to let go. You got to let go, and you got to be willing to. And I'm talking to myself because, you remember the book, The E-Myth, right? Yeah. None of us go through that. None of us. And so I think about that. And I mean, that was like one of the first business books that just slapped me in the face years ago. It's not easy. That's not a easy question, but you want to develop them. You don't want them to be you. You want them to be the very best that they can be. And so what does that mean? You can't hold on to them forever. They may stay with you as long as the company, or they may venture out to a different company, or they may become entrepreneurs. And, and all of that is great success because you want to champion them. You want them to be empowered. And I think that's important as a leader, to empower. I'm a small family business, and I'm like moving out the way so the next gen can do what she got to do, So that transition's been a little hard, but I made up my mind. That's what it's about.
Okay, no, definitely, and it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's important to try and make the effort and learn, and like you said here, getting the right staff is key. But even if you have the right staff and you lose your staff to better opportunities, that's a good thing, because sometimes they come back and hire you to come work.
No, that's right. That's right.
Business owners, that's what they like to do. They like to bring people in, train them, develop them, potential customers, and so definitely. But so when you're thinking of your staff and developing them, Dr. Michelle asked about when you're empowering your staff, what do you do to empower them?
We all got to deal with a culture, our culture. What type of culture do you want in your environment? So that's where you start. Our culture is love, excitement, learning. I mean, look, I'll tell you this. I am excited about what I do. I know there's a lot of different industries. I love what I do. Okay. And so that is something that they will understand. This is a joy. The power industry, the electrical industry is like one of the best industries. And I'm just going to be real about it. It is exciting, and it evolves, and it changes every day.
Excellent. Well, definitely having a passion shows through, and you need that, because business owner, you definitely work way harder than as an employee. So
yeah. Up at 5:00 in the morning.
After going to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes. So that's cool. So
I'm learning self-care. I'm finally learning that. That's something that's really important. I wasn't doing that for a while, but that self-care is really key.
Yeah.
Because if you're not healthy, you're not going to be around. So
Yes.
I'm working on that.
Definitely, you want to do that, especially in this day and age.
Yes.
And I think the coalition helps you to see other people.
Yes.
And see what they're dealing with, because
Right.
you can learn a lot from each other's experiences. So so cool. So we're almost at an hour. I told you it would go pretty fast, and it would be painless, more or less. But before we close out, we covered quite a few different things, and I like to have people try and take away like three key things that they can think about and look at. Okay, what should I take away from what we talked about tonight, and how can I implement that to be a better leader within my organization? So I'm gonna give you a minute to sort of think about, if you're, talking to someone who's a business owner looking to grow, be more successful. As far as leadership, what are three key things that you would want them to take away and really be able to use to help them be more successful going forward?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll give you a minute to think about those. I'll take a got a comment from Christine. So definitely about losing staff to opportunities is good. Paying attention to competitors. Okay. All right. And then we talked a little bit about what the university is. We talked a little bit about the Power Breakfast and Conference that we do. But also want to share a little bit about, while Deidre's pulling that together, a little bit about the Small Business Pro Network that we're creating and we're relaunching as a resource for entrepreneurs and business owners. So the Small Business Pro Network is a ecosystem we're developing for entrepreneurs and business owners, a place for where you can grow, collaborate, and learn, and really a way to collaborate with other entrepreneurs, but also get access to different activities, resources, training, and development that we do through the Small Business Pro University. So definitely invite you to join. For now, during the pre-launch, it's free and free forever. So check us out, www.sbpronetwork.com, and join the network and be in the ecosystem, access to different resources, and hopefully we'll see you there. So that's one of the key things that we're working on now, and we're growing that as we speak. So but let me bring Deidre back in. So Deidre, you have a second to sort of think through some things you want to leave.
Yes. Okay, so one is know is new opportunity. Networking, never stop learning, and take care of that back office. That's it. That's really it. And don't in there's never feel that or feel insecure. If you don't know something, just ask, and it is okay. That's how we learn. Continue to learn. Continue to learn.
Okay, excellent. So we really want to continue to learn.
Yes.
And I like to know, definitely as a business owner, you're going to get a lot of no's. So, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just getting you that much closer to your yes.
Yes, right. That's right.
So that's key. And build your network.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you've definitely been doing it. You've been doing some great things. Love to continue seeing what you're doing, and look forward to working with you on some stuff.
Thank you.
never stop learning. Take care of your back office. And let's see, do you have another term for back office? So what else would you call your back office?
I call it that. I don't have another term for that. I mean, it's just staying on top of things, staying on top of the rules and regulations, things that are changing through the Department of Labor, everything that you can pay attention to, because sometimes they'll change stuff and you don't even know, and you can find out the wrong way, so that's key. That's really key.
Yeah, it's all the stuff that doesn't seem to matter until it matters.
Right.
And then it's too late.
In the mail going what?
So you gotta dot your I's and cross your T's.
Yeah. And even when you do that, things change. Things change, And now that we're in a new world, you got to pay attention to their website, because they may not send a letter, but they put it on the website. They're like, well, it's on that website, but you didn't send a letter. And these are entities that you have to do business with. You have to be in compliance with them by law. Department of Labor is no joke, So, yeah.
Okay, excellent. So now this has been wonderful. Thank you for taking time to hang out with me this evening and share some of your experience and expertise.
And I think all that's watching.
Definitely, this has been great. Hang on for a minute as I close out. We'll chat for a minute after, but
okay.
Again, and once again, thanks to Deidre Helberg, President CEO of Helberg Electrical Supplies and founder of the U.S. Coalition of Black Women Businesses. I'll get that one of these.
USCBWB.
Sorry. All right. Thank you. So, all right. So once again, always love Tuesday evenings when I get a chance to chat small business with some great people, some great leaders and people doing some great things out in the world. So definitely enjoyed hanging out with Deidre this evening. And thanks again for tuning in. I always appreciate your questions, your comments. As always, if you missed us, catch us on the replay. It's available YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and we're also live on the STEM City USA metaverse. So we're available. So next week I'm looking forward to as well. Actually, one of my mentors is going to be a guest on next week, and let me just pull him up here. John Kirksey, he's managing principal of Global TKG Global Advisors, and he's going to talk about how interdependence makes us better. Nobody is successful on their own, and what is it that happens to create success for people, and how does our interdependence impact that? So he's got a wealth of experience in leadership, both internationally and nationally, with large and small organizations. He's had his own businesses as well as worked with other organizations. So he's got a lot to share on that topic, and just the way the world is, the way technology is. Every day the world is becoming more and more interdependent. So understanding some of the themes and some of the trends and how that can impact you and how that can benefit you. So looking forward to talking with John Kirksey next Tuesday evening at 8:05 p.m. for Live at 8:05. So thanks again for joining in. And always, at the end of the day, the more that you know, the faster and the more successfully your business is going to grow.
Thank you for listening to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbpros.com.